Yo, what's up guys, Draconia here for another Dragon Ball Legends video. The end of the year is coming closer, so I thought I'm gonna do my top favorite units as well as my top 5 hated units of this year. Yeah, to finish it off because why not? Obviously this is gonna be totally subjective, my own opinion. You can absolutely disagree with the order of the units, and this is also not about like for example, if I hate it's in Dragon Ball. Let's just say I hate Boo, and we get in a Boo. I'm not gonna put it in my least favorite right here because this is a Boo character, or Vegeta, for example. I'm a Vegeta fan. Doesn't mean I'm gonna put all Vegetas that we got this year in my top 5 because I'm not gonna make this about that. It's more about how much do I like the character in Legends, how they like their abilities, obviously, and stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna start off with my, I would say, most hated ones here, and from the bottom 5 to number 1, and then go to my top favorites from 5 to 1. We are starting with the first 5 of my most hated characters being IT Goku. There were not that many units I hate, so or didn't like, and it was honestly here at 5 between him and Super Saiyan 4 Goku because Super Saiyan 4 Goku's anti-rush mechanic as well as this disrupt is just annoying. But the thing with Super Saiyan 4 is, and this is actually the only thing that's saving him for being here over him, is his disrupt is kinda needed because Gohan exists, and Gohan is just infinite comboing everybody if you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku on the team. So his disrupt was kinda necessary, although I still hate the Airy Green and anti-rush mechanic. And yeah, speaking of Airy Greens, this is the main reason IT Goku is here, because the way people play this guy is just trying to be as passive as possible and to try to get a perfect position for the Airy Green cards to get priority and get a combo started. Because this guy's fostering dreams every time he vanishes, so at mid-range if he Pvs you, going for Airy Green is annoying. If he's at long range, like this character is all about his Airy Green, which I hate because Airy Greens lead into passive playstyle, and I hate passive players more than anything else. I understand people who sometimes play passive because they're scared about a rush, but there are some people who are just playing passive the whole game, and IT Goku players, most of the time I face them, are just extremely passive. Either extremely passive, or they're sometimes actually aggressive, but then they die immediately because this guy is pretty squishy actually. Um, but this was this main gimmick. Also, he had supporting, like, besides Theory Green, he was fine, but that was just the most annoying part, and this is how most people played with this guy. Um, but he's not as worse as everybody else on this list here. Like, I don't really hate that guy. I don't like fighting that guy, but I don't hate him, like, necessarily. But he's one of my least favorites because of the Airy Green cards. Not that he simply has it, but that he's just the one who's just permanently generating these and always playing to get off the Airy Green. Um, so yeah, like you can't mid-range strike this character. If you mid-range strike this character, even if he doesn't PV you, he's fostering a green, Airy Green, getting comboed. It's just boring. I know mid-range strike not the most best play ever, but sometimes you want to initiate. So yeah, IT Goku, my number 5 here, is one of my least favorites, but it's not that bad. And yeah, speaking of a character that I actually hate, and this is yeah, Gohan here. He could have been number 3 probably if he was a little bit longer in the game. I mean, he's like what, 3-4 weeks old. Hasn't been. No, it doesn't. No, not 4 weeks. I think 2-3 weeks at this point. And obviously completely ruined part 2, which is why I hate him. Um, he ruined the whole meta of in part 2 entirely. We had one of the, I would say, one of the better metas in a long time in part 1, with many diverse teams, and then Gohan showed up and not only destroyed a lot of teams but also created basically Sun Families Everything teams. And he was so far, and still is kind of so far ahead of the rest of the game that it's just really annoying. And the fact that people consider this guy arguably number 1 in the game, despite the fact that we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku now in the game, that we have Gogeta still around, that he has to deal with 2 greens while Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a really good Ultra, doesn't have to deal with a purple unit right now, and people are still debating if this guy is actually number 1 or arguably number 1 together with Goku. That's just insane. And yeah, he's an everything character. He's supporting, he has the best damage in the game, he has the longest combos in the game, because every time your enemy switches, he's gaining P, he's gaining a card. I don't like this character because he's completely against the new philosophy, which units shouldn't be doing everything. This guy is basically an Ultra character in disguise. Like, the amount of damage guard, support that he has as well as tanking and disrupt and everything, and second life mechanic. This is an Ultra character. He should be classified as Ultra, just because the way he is just... Again, people consider this guy better than Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And that's just crazy to think about. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend that much time on this character, but because I have talked about this guy, I think maybe at least 2 to 3 times. He's just doing too much. I don't mind him having the highest damage in the game. I didn't mind it with Gogeta, who has also the highest damage in the game. But this guy has no weaknesses. Like, the only weakness of him right now is that Super Saiyan 4 Goku exists. That's his only weakness. One character, specifically. Like, he doesn't have bad tanking or bad damage, or he doesn't have a safety. He has everything. So, yeah, I hate this guy. I hate that this guy came out. And I would even say this Legends Festival could have been really, really great if, number 1, Super Saiyan 4 Goku didn't have this anti-rush mechanic, and not that of a crazy disrupt, but then this guy also not being as broken as he is. If these 3 things weren't there, I would say this is a actually great Legends Fest, but yeah, we are here now, and yeah, I hate this guy. I don't want to say to be meta relevant for that long, but it's probably really, really hard to get this guy out of the game. It really is, because he does everything. We have a pretty much really good, almost hard counter to this guy, and he's still number 2 in the game, or arguably number 1. So this guy could be here for a couple of months, dominating, terrorizing everybody. So yeah. Speaking of the other character I was thinking about switching with this guy, that has been out way longer, and that is Namek Goku. I have been against this unit since this guy released. While everybody was complaining about Frieza and his Death Beam being too broken, which I can understand that, but I said this when this guy released, the main reason why Frieza was so dominant is because this guy killed off everybody who could tank Ultra Frieza's Death Beams. Like, not everybody, we all know Evo, not the greatest character of all time, but he was at least okay before this guy showed up. Tien was a runnable Saiyan Saga character on the Saiyan Saga team. Completely disappeared from existence once this guy showed up, because he's just gonna lock him in, 1 strike, 1 blue, revival popped, 1 time lock in again, rushing, gets a billion of damage in. Like, this guy will ruin so many units, and is forcing so many prop units to have uncancelable type, neutral, second life mechanics, and buff removal. And yeah, it's just continuing the cycle of yellow characters that have a lock-in that are so broken that the purple characters just disappears. We had that for like 3 years, I feel like or 3 times. I mean, like, Ultra UI was the first one, then we went into Ultra Margin Vegeta, and now this guy. And this guy is still meta relevant after Anniversary being over still. Had so many red units we released to deal with him, and it never was enough to kick this guy off. And meanwhile, Frieza, we got one good purple, which was Ultra Zamasu, and he all of a sudden fell down a bit. Like, that's the difference between these two guys. This guy has a really, like, the lock-in is just a way too broken mechanic. Because most units, in comparison to him, like, if you look at Ultra UI, or you look at Majin Vegeta, this lock-in's more where, like, if you were able to force the lock-in by yourself, it was because of an ultimate attack. Like, Majin Vegeta had to use an ultimate to get this lock-in. Ultra UI is dependent on you switching, so if the enemy is not switching, he's not locking anybody in, so it's not necessarily in your control. But this guy has completely control over his lock-in, and that this enables you to do, like, so many things that people can't avoid, like lock-in rushes, lock-in ultimates, lock-in feint into ultimates and everything. And I hate this character because this guy is also like Gohan and I'm doing everything character. Now granted, he's not as good anymore as he was, but like on release he had good damage, good tanking, good disrupt, AoE green also annoying, feint on the blue card, Dragon Ball destruction, main sealing, card destruction on main, type neutrality for a long ass time. Like, bro, 25 timer counts of type neutrality defensively once you fill his unique gauge is a long time. Uncancelable, by the way. And then he's also healing your allies, supporting your allies. Has the best second life mechanic in the game because it's a team-wide second life mechanic. Like, bro, come on. What were they thinking with this guy, making this guy so unrestricted? Like, they limited Frieza's ultra ability to LOE, and they said this guy gets Saiyans, which is 90% of the game. Like, bro, what? Yeah, I hate this unit more than anything else. But if Gohan was out way longer here, like if he would have come out a few months ago, and this guy maybe almost a year ago, then I would have said maybe Gohan would be over this guy for me. But yeah, he has been out for too long. Have been too much annoyed by this existence of this stupid ass character, and I wish this guy also to be gone forever because I hate him. He's doing too much. Also a unit that I'm calling completely against the new game philosophy. Because again, he's an everything character. There shouldn't be characters that do every single thing in the game, and also be good at every single thing in the game. Like, I don't mind, like, if he had all this, but let's just say with, like, okay, his tanking sucks, but he has this broken second life mechanic. It would be a different story, but his tanking was solid, like most other units in the game. His tanking, he was pretty good. I think, in fact, he had the highest damage card in the game on release, which is just annoying. But yeah, don't want to talk about this guy anymore because I hate this guy. Like, this guy annoys me a bit. These two guys, I truly despise their existence. I wish them to be out of the game. That's how much I hate these two right there. And now moving into the number 2 spot, who I also pretty much hate, UI Goku. This guy is one of the most annoying, if not the most annoying unit to fight in this year by far, because he has to, like, evading unique gauges from UI Gokus have always been annoying, but the fact that this guy can deal damage with it is also annoying. And then they had the audacity to give him a counter green card, which counters everything in the game except blue cards, green cards, ultimates, overdrive, and rushes. But when it comes to arts cards, he counters everything. Against tap attacks, he counters everything. How do you even fight this stupid ass unit? How do you attack this guy? The amount of games I've lost because this guy stalled me out because I can't attack him at all is just annoying and nuts, and I hate this guy. This guy in Proud especially is the dumbest thing they ever did. Ever. This guy's whole unique gauge should have been separated in 2 things, for standard and for Proud, because in Proud you can't have a character like this. In Proud, stalling you with, again, especially if you bring in 2 UI Gokus in the meta. They revived, they Zenkai the green one. The green revived one. So you possibly had 2 UI Gokus you had to deal with in a Proud match that is a lot shorter than normal matches. And if your enemy guesses your rush against this guy, and this guy is like, okay, I'm gonna stall you out for the rest of the game so you don't farm a second Rising Rush, good luck with winning. And this guy is just hurting you for playing the game. It was just annoying. The arts cost increase was annoying as well. Like, I hated everything about this guy. And there are people like, okay, he should have gotten buff removal. And I'm like, no, this guy shouldn't have gotten endurance. This guy shouldn't have gotten buff removal. Because this guy is just an annoying character to face. It's already hard enough to get priority on this guy, but then he has like pretty good disrupt as well. Are you kidding me? It's just, I'm completely against countering your own units in a celebration, but this guy deserved it. Like, as much as annoying as is that Ultra Frieza just counted this guy to the point where not many people played this guy, I think he deserved it. Because the way this guy plays is just not fun. This is the most passive character they ever designed. Ever. I hate this guy more than anything, and I was debating of putting him even at number 1 because this is how much I hate him. But there's one unit that annoyed me, I think, even more in my memories, even though it's a bit shorter, and was a bit frustrating because against UI, you know what you're getting into, but not against Majin Buu. This is probably even the only 1% Sparky that's gonna make the list. In both categories, by the way. Why UI Goku is annoying to fight because you can't basically attack him, more or less. This guy was just too frustrating for me that I could not put him not to number 1. Like, the amount of things that can happen with this guy fainting you or this guy paralyzing you was to the point where I was like, I'm gonna throw my phone away. I hated this guy more than anything else because you can't deal with paralyze. You can't. This guy had so much paralyzing in the game, and you can't do anything of paralyze. Nothing. Like, besides being immune to it, but it's like you kind of have to gamble every single time. It could be that I had moments where this guy completely lost me a match because of one paralyze. One. Like, imagine you want to go for a rush, you're getting paralyzed, but the rush still activates, and then your enemy just dodges because you're full range rushing basically, and you're losing your rush because of this. Your enemy gets free priority, and maybe even kills you because he's gonna rush you then. That's just one of the examples how this guy can screw you over, on top of having like really good support, really good disrupt, and I did not enjoy fighting this guy. This guy was like he didn't last that long because Daima surprisingly didn't age that well. I thought they were gonna be better even through the whole anniversary, but it's honestly only because of the new game philosophy thing. If they didn't change up how damage guard and everything works, I think Daima would have maybe gotten through part 1 and 2 as well. Because when you look at the abilities of everything Daima did, this guy in comparison wasn't that crazy. It just, his damage and damage guard in consideration was so high, and everybody else that at part 2 Daima just phased out. But yeah, this guy, I hated this guy. I always will hate him. There will not be a point where I'm not gonna hate this guy. I'm not looking forward to him getting a Zenkai ever because it's not gonna be fun. I hate Paralyze. Paralyze is the most annoying thing in the game. And Faint, and he has both of them. There are no worse mechanics than these two. Only thing missing would be an Airy Green, then I would hate him even more, but yeah. I don't know how much people remember this guy, but it was tough, man. And I even had moments where it's like, I would love to kill Majin Buu, and then I got paralyzed, but the moment I wanted to go for the ultimate, and then I missed completely, and wasted by walking ultimate. It just was this is the kind of game I had to deal with this guy and other parallel units. I don't want to see this guy ever again. So yeah, this is my most hated unit. It's just the frustration was too high with this guy. It's worse than with this guy. This guy annoys me as well, but this frustration here is can't be described in words. It's just me raging inside whenever I face this guy. So yeah. But now we're gonna start with my, I would say, rather more favorite units here, and we're gonna start with an actual tied 5 spot, being Android 13 and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Android 13, this has been the second support LF character we've gotten, no, the third one, in ages. So, and I think when it comes to doing this supporting, he's just doing phenomenal. And it's not like he's now crazy tanking as well and crazy damaging. No, his damage and tanking are okay. Not good, not bad, I would say. But he's succeeding in supporting. So this is a character that has a clear role and fulfills the clear role. The only annoying thing is the blast card ceiling, and the one-time disrupt is also annoying, but to be fair, it's a one-time thing. I think it's fine that he has it one time. Yeah, but the blast ceiling is probably obviously the most annoying thing about him. But that's the only annoying thing. Everything else, he's doing great. I liked his design. I liked his release. I think he was. This is one of the more valuable releases of the year, and I did not think that because it's Android 13. I don't think many people are that excited about this character. So, yeah, they did them well. And then also this Vegeta. I think this guy was kind of released at the wrong time, because if you think about a new game philosophy character, this guy is it, because this guy has short cover null, gets cover null on the green, I think, and has 5 times of cover null, and it's just like, I'm gonna come in and doing quick cards, gonna switch out, come back in, doing quick cards. It's just this whole game plan. He's all about damage. He's not great at tanking, disrupting. I mean, his disrupt is solid if you have a unique gauge, but I feel like this was like the definition of what they should have gone for. But again, this was before they changed the whole damage guard thing, so like, I've used this guy against, for example, Kaioken Goku. He did no damage because the damage guard was way too high for this guy's damage to surpass him. So I wish they would have released this guy post new philosophy game changes, because I think that would have been better for this guy. But yeah, this is why I shared. It's unfortunate that this guy got replaced by the Zenkai Kid Mini Goku, which is, yeah, it's just unfortunate. But I like this release. I had no negatives about him in terms of toxicity, like vanish removal if they get the last man standing character. Come on, this is something you have to build up for quite a bit to get that. So yeah, I like these two guys. These are my number 5. You can. I couldn't really decide who I liked more, so this is how I put it. Then we have Revive Vegeta at number 4. Also a character I liked for this design. What I liked most about this guy is his unique gauge, because his disrupt, destroying 2 cards, enemy key minus 30 plus main seal. This is a pretty strong disrupt. But it came out with the fact that you have to build up this character's unique gauge over and over to get your disrupt back. So this is, they made it, they incentivize you to use this character actually, and not just have it as your rival character on the sidelines. And I kind of like this guy for it, because he has a really good disrupt, but it comes with a price. So you actually work for a good disrupt. The only thing I wished is that if you fill his unique gauge when you still have his disrupt, you should have had like a charge of it. Like you could build this guy up like with 3 unique gauge fills without this guy getting hit, but the moment he gets hit, he only has 1 disrupt, and you have to fill up the unique gauge again. I wish they would have done it. That's like, okay, you build him up 3 times, you have now 3 times of this disrupt. That's what I would have wished for. But yeah, I like the unit. He wasn't like extremely overpowered offensively. He was solid offensively. He was a kind of long combo character, which kind of was a bit bad, because they nerfed long combos, but I think it wasn't too bad in comparison if you look at, for example, Evo. I think for this guy it was okay, because it wasn't comboing forever. Also, Nullified Paradise was one of the better things. I like this revival, although I think this is a weird revival state to have. Like, okay, you have Vegeta and you have broken Vegeta, I don't know. or mad Vegeta, because he looks more mad than in the match before. I don't know. I wish they would have done a bit more interesting stuff with his revival, but yeah, I liked his release. I think it was fun. I also think his color was kind of a weird thing, because then Frieza came out and totally replaced this guy. So yeah, but I liked him regardless. I think he was fine. And then we're going to number 3 and 2 here, which are I gotta talk about both. Janemba and Gogeta. I want to start with Gogeta first. Now this guy's also an extremely offensive powerhouse, similar to Gohan, I would say. But what I liked about this guy is it came, like, I feel like it came with a price for this guy. Like, I think if you're comparing Gohan to these guys, it's the best way to show how you actually do a good damage dealing character. Like, because this guy, offensively, pre-fusion, they're really good, but it's not like broken good. You're not like looking at them like, man, they're doing insane damage pre-fusion. They're doing good damage, but it's not like crazy. But their disrupt, a half HP both times, is really nice and really good. Then you fuse, and your disrupts are not the greatest ever, but his damage becomes insane. So you're sacrificing defensive abilities for offensive abilities. So you have weaknesses, you have things you're good at, but you have also things you're bad at. You don't have a second life mechanic or a crazy disrupt to be like unable to kill at all. And so I like this character a lot, because he's a good damage leader, he has very good offensive abilities, but very bad defensive abilities. So it's like, okay, this is a character that doesn't do everything. You need another character for defensive abilities. This is how team building should be in the new game philosophy. I would say this is one of the most successful new philosophy characters they design. And the only thing I didn't like about this character is the fact that he's ammo break. Everything else about this character I did not mind at all. Him being the best character in the game for me was like, fine. I don't even have him, despite the fact that he has a Vegeta side, by the way. And I didn't pull for him because, yeah, didn't come to it. But maybe I'm gonna do that later, actually. But I like this character. Even the anti-endurance thing, which is strong, obviously, I don't mind him having it. There's nothing about this guy that I would have really said, bro, remove this from him. He does this too much. Like, no, I don't. He doesn't have a lot of cover null. He has cover on entry. He has the +2 sub counts on his green before unique gauge. That's the only way he kind of has semi cover null, and that's it. Again, I think this was a fantastic release. So this is why he's my number 2 release. And then we have Janemba, who, you know, is also a damage dealer in comparison to Gogeta. He's not that great, but I would say he comes the fact here that he has a bit better other things besides, like, his damage is solid, but he has a second life mechanic. He has buff removal to protect himself. He has ally healing when he gets hit by an ultimate or used an ultimate awakens out Rising Rush against him. He actually does a lot of different things, but in difference to, for example, this guy, first of all, his second life mechanic can be cancelled or can be killed in comparison to revival, but it's not like his other abilities are so far ahead. Like, this guy's stats were not the greatest. Like, defensively, he is not that good. Offensively, in his stats, he's also not that good. And he has a way worse damage stacking ability than everybody else has. Like, literally everybody has some kind of way of damage stacking on themselves, despite Janemba. And he doesn't have cards on entry. He doesn't have any other cover null besides the one card use. His type neutrality is really good, what they did with him. He also has ally support, which I think nobody else knows. Like, where is it? Here, where? I think he had support somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, ally damage plus 15 whenever an enemy cover changes. Not many people know he has that, but it's also not the necessarily easiest way to get it consistently. I mean, you can get it, but it's 15% support every time you as enemy switches is not that, you don't notice that often, I would say. Like, this guy obviously is a better surviving unit, safety unit, but worse defense, not easy card and entry. I liked how the way this guy was designed. Like, his whole design was really, really fun to use. Like, he wasn't just this, I'm gonna come in and just using cards over. Because that's basically what Gogeta is. He's just like, just clicking cards basically. But I think the way they designed this guy was more interesting and different to use than anybody else, which is, I think, a big plus point. No toxic trade. This disrupt is not that crazy, so most people don't really realize that he's debuffing you that much or lowering your ki that much. Like, I think this guy was also very good. This is why I considered these both a 10 out of 10 when I evaluated part 1, because I think they designed these characters really very well. I know people were not the biggest fan of Janemba being a part 1 headliner. I personally don't care, because he was the most surprising thing about this, actually, because no one was expecting this guy to show up. So yeah, I like this guy. He's at number 3 because I really wish he had card on entry. I think that's something I should have given him for sure, and I like Gogeta more in this sense. So yeah, number 2 and 3 here for my most favorite characters. And at number 1, I have a character which I don't even own, and I don't think many people remember that this character exists. Kefla. I like the way she was. A glass cannon, hyper offensive character that doesn't do everything in the game, but is really, really offensively strong. To me, she was the perfect unit of the year for me. And I know she didn't age well. I know not many people consider her really, really good. She didn't necessarily help the team that she wanted to help. I personally just wish they would have done a different Red Fusion character with her, because Super Vegito, Kefla, and a Red Fusion should have been the team, and they gave an equipment to Zenkai Gogeta, the red one. That was not good enough at all. If that would have been really, really good, like on Ultra Namek Goku level, the red one, the free-to-play one, like this guy basically didn't have anything, and they gave him the equipment, and he was like really, really good. For a free-to-play, by the way. So if they have done that, something similar to the Red Fusion Gogeta, and you actually would have used fusions as a team, it would have been even greater. Yeah, but I like the fact that she was really good offensively, but in return she is a glass cannon. I like this kind of design because this means, okay, somebody else has to do the tanking, which was Super Vegito, so you used her as your offensive powerhouse, and then Vegito as your tanking guy, and third character, which was Namek Goku, which was more annoying. But yeah, I like her design actually more than anything else. Obviously, her relevance wasn't as good as maybe, for example, these two guys right here, but I just liked her more. This was a character when just design-wise, I would have summoned for her, because I found she was fun. I think she was a fun character. I think she was also fun to fight against. I didn't hate anything about her except the feint on the blue card, but I rarely got feinted by her to the point that I actually forgot she had that. But yeah, she's my favorite character of the year, I would say. Now, obviously, again, extremely subjective. You could switch this on however you want. In fact, let me know in the comments what your favorite characters this year were and why. It could even be the fact that it's just your favorite character in the anime. I don't need like this. You don't have to go like overly with my rules or anything. Just write down your favorite character. Tell me why. tell other people why, just to see what you guys like or not. It's just interesting, and yeah. Um, I don't know when I'm uploading this, probably on the 31st in the evening. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and see you guys in next year.